Okay, so for me, I feel like high school has really been kind of a growing period. In that like I came from a private, pretty small school, St. James Academy, and I had been there since kindergarten all the way through eighth grade. So I was very much so in like a bubble of people and families and kind of perspectives and stuff like that. And I had kind of been with the same people just for a really long time. And that was nice. And that like I was super close with those people that I was with. And I had like super strong relationships going into high school. But I was also pretty like sheltered in the way that I had kind of grown up. And so I feel like me going into high school, I was honestly pretty scared because I wasn't used to being in such a bigger environment, even though a lot of the people that I had gone to middle school with were coming to Cathedral. But I was kind of able to go from like that really small school and bubble of people to a much bigger school with, tons of different people and perspectives and personalities, and kind of had the opportunity to learn more about myself from the relationships that I created when I was in high school. And this year, I feel like I definitely grew, and then I became a lot closer with people that I wasn't as good of friends with, because I've had like a pretty concrete friend group, like a closer friend group all throughout high school. But this year specifically, my friend group grew into like all of the other people who I was somewhat friends with but not as close with, and we all just became super close. And then I also got to build friendships with people who I wasn't as close with, and I grew closer with them. And so that was awesome, in that I was able to kind of develop my personality more this year and become more like myself through the other people that I became closer with. And then specifically like a standout moment this year for spirituality reasons was Kairos, definitely, which is honestly probably most people will say that, but I feel like my experience with Kairos was different because I've always kind of had like a spiritual influence in my life. And so I was kind of going into Kairos with that spiritual influence, but I realized that like my spirituality comes more from the relationships that I have, like with my family and friends. And I was kind of able to figure out where my spirituality kind of rooted from. And I was able to grow closer to the people that I had kind of grown apart from, who I'd been friends with before, or who I have never been friends with. And I was able to kind of learn more about my faith through growing in relationships with those people. And so that was pretty cool for me. And then servant leadership, I hadn't really done a lot of service before I came to Cathedral. I'd done like a little bit here and there, but I thought it was awesome, especially this year doing the service with campus ministry, because I worked with a homeless shelter, and I was able to kind of step outside of my little circle and look at people who had completely different lives than mine. And I grew more grateful for like my opportunities and all of the gifts that I've been given. But I also got to realize that even if you aren't the richest person or have lots of relationships in your life or whatever, you can still be super happy. And the people that I was working with were just so happy and grateful for the smaller things that they were being given at the homeless shelter and stuff like that. And they had grown in friendships there. And I just thought that was really impressive, because they weren't about the material aspects of life. They were more about their relationships and the love that they had. So that was awesome for me as well. And a person who inspires me is Mother Teresa, because I feel like she just emits so much love and is such a caring person. And I feel like that's a big goal for me, to kind of grow in being a caring person and giving love to the people in my life and to people who I haven't met yet that I will possibly meet in the future. And this year I've realized that I'm a lot more multifaceted than I thought, and I have more passions and things that I want to pursue in the future. And I was able to kind of grow in those throughout high school, and especially this year, and become more comfortable with embracing different hobbies and passions that I may have that I wasn't really wanting to pursue before high school. So that was great. And in the future, I hope to learn more about myself going into college and having a bigger sphere of people around me and different perspectives and political opinions and religions and just fully different personalities, and kind of learn more about myself through that, and maybe become more educated on like the world and stuff like that as well. And in the past few months of COVID, I've definitely, I mean, it's been very difficult, and I feel like it's been difficult for everyone, but I've definitely realized how grateful I am for the people that are in my life and my family especially, but also my really close friends that I know love and care about me. And I've realized how much I need to have those kind of people in my life, and how I think they also need to have those kind of relationships in their lives as well. And I've just become a lot more like aware of how important good relationships and having caring people around you are at any time, especially when you're in a difficult time like Corona. So overall, I think that my high school experience has been amazing. I would not take back any of it. I've grown so much. I've met such amazing people. I've met such amazing teachers. The cathedral faculty were so awesome, and I'm so sad to leave, but I'm ready to definitely start a new aspect of my life, and I think that everyone else is as well. So thank you.